Good morning from Panhandle Outdoors, America's only daily outdoor TV show. Your source for fishing, hunting, and information for folks who enjoy the great outdoors. Now sit back, relax. It's Panhandle Outdoors.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to Panhandle Outdoors. I'm Winston Chester. Glad to hear this morning. Appreciate Mark and Bill taking the show yesterday. Got a special guest here today. So Panhandle Outdoors is moving on. Let's take a look at our weather. Looking not bad, maybe some scatter showers, a little bit of rain throughout the area, but it's not going to be anything really serious, we hope. Now, but this wind, you got to watch out for it. Our weather brought to us by Gulf Coast Air Conditioning, Drew Pollard, hardworking crew up there in Southport. It's going to be high today, actually getting up to 74, low of 63. Pier, water temperature, 71 degrees, is looking good. Take a look at our river readings brought to us by Mountain Dew. The Apalachicola of Bluntstown, 18 foot, it's high. It's all there to it. It's really high on the big river. Take a look at Choctawhatchee at Caryville. It's still pretty high. It's dropping out a little bit, so how much rain we get today will dictate what this weekend will be with our river readings, but it's going to be pretty high water all the way through. Tide chart, we're getting into neap tides. We've got a full moon today's Thursday, we've got a full moon Saturday in 2 days, so it's going to be good fishing today, but we're not going to have a lot of tidal flow. Okay, and wind direction, still in double figures, coming out of south at about 10 to 12. Let's take a break. We'll come back with our special guest. Okay, welcome back and welcome to our special guest, Brian Bowen.
Thank you.
Welcome to the show.
It's a pleasure. Nice
Okay.
to see you.
I've been trying to get him to come on a while. This is a unique fellow right here. Really think a lot of him. He's with Legacy Lifts and got to know him and all. Come to find out, we'll know a lot more about each other than we thought, which is good.
Yes, it is.
But down in Port St. Joe, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I live in Port St. Joe, and I am the distributor for Legacy Lifts in all of the Florida Panhandle. Former musician, I say former, I'm just not doing it full time anymore. So it's nice to have my nights and my weekends open now, not having to be in a honky tonk somewhere every night.
He's got some great stories, and we're going to get to his music a little bit later on. But first of all, we're talking about fishing. That's always a common bond with so many of us, and you love to fish. I
love to fish. I don't get enough time like I'd like to, but I certainly do love to fish.
Well, we got some pictures now. We're going to prove otherwise. We got, and these some of your buddies and all, but tell us about these pictures here. That's a beautiful redfish.
That was out in the on the backside of St. Vincent's Island. We spent a lot of time out that way, and there's some spots there that I'm sworn to secrecy on. So, but that's pretty evident where that is. Same there. I believe that might have been the same day. We really we had a good bite that day. That
is a nice speckled trout. Now, what do y'all fish with, live bait or?
No, artificial bait.
Really?
We try to keep ourselves honest, make us work for it a little bit.
Okay.
That's my good friend Chris Petrie. His family owned the Turtle Beach Inn out on Indian Pass for years and years, and it's about that time of year now, so Chris and his wife Stephanie and I will definitely be posted up out there this weekend.
Okay, we're going to be talking about that for sure. That's a beautiful redfish.
Yeah, that's in the secret spot up there, tucked in behind St. Vincent's Island.
We're not giving any way in the secret spot. Ooh, check it out, Pompano.
Yeah, that's down there on Cape Sandblast. Just another beautiful day out there.
This is so typical of what this time of year, what you see, and people sort of spread out. And like I say, sometimes you get a group of folks.
Oh yeah, we get down there and grill and turn the kids loose, let them run, and we just have a big time down there. It's always a lot of fun.
This is a picture I've tried to portray to our viewers who haven't had a chance to do this, how much fun it is. If you have that beach driving permit, back your truck up there.
Heck yeah.
And open that tailgate. It's just something special, ain't it?
Well, I joke about it anymore. I say if I've got to walk to get down to the beach, I don't want to go. Because you can load your truck up with everything and go, out there.
It is so special. And what's so cool, if you look at the picture, if you look down the line, so a lot of times you can see the rod start bending about 200 yards down. Somebody's rod bends, then the next rod bends.
Oh, yeah. When they turn on, they go. And pound for pound, pompano is a great little fight. They're a lot of fun.
It's an adrenaline rush when you see somebody else's rod because you know you just started getting
Yep, here they
ready.
come.
That's a great picture there. What about this one?
Well, that's about 3.5 years ago, and we all remember what that's about. Hurricane Michael came through, and I was one of the foolish ones that that stayed.
You stayed in Port St. Joe.
I did. That's about a half a block off Highway 98 in the bay over there, and that is the Port St. Joe Garden Club, actually.
Wow.
Yeah, that was. You know, the odd thing about that is, you know, it felt like the storm was almost over, and when the backside of that storm hit the bay, that west wind started pushing. And I watched that water come out of the bay and up the street.
That's funny. After you thought the storm was over,
Yeah.
and that's when all that swell of water came in.
It sure did.
Did
It
it get
sure
scary?
did. Well, I'm glad I was there for the simple fact that when the water started coming under the door, I was able to elevate, you know, electronics and guitars and that kind of thing. So it's a really good thing that I did stay because I'd have lost a lot of gear.
And I've been to his house, and you're right. You showed me where the water came up through that area
yeah.
and all. You have been blocks off the water, were you?
Well, this particular spot, I was in a townhouse about half a block off of the bay there.
Wow.
I'm on some higher ground now.
Yeah, I know you are higher ground. Wow, that's a cool picture. Tell us about this pic.
Well, that's a bunch of folks that kindly let me tag along for a hog hunt. That's one of the little old feeder creeks, I guess, for lack of a better term, or sloughs off the Chipola River up there. That gentleman there on the right with the stocking cap over him, that is our good friend Carmen McLemore. I know a lot of your viewers know Carmen.
Yes.
He's a great guy, and it's just evident that a lot of these younger fellas, you know, look up to him, and so that was a good time that day. It was cold, but it was a great time.
Well, you just living life in the Panhandle. Okay.
Oh yeah, and that's just, you know, coming and going. They got those old John boats out there, and they'll jump over those logs, and I mean, like they're nothing.
It's just, you know, you're talking about showing all these pictures and all the great depiction of the Florida Panhandle. I mean, you got your red fishing over here, got that big old trout. You're fishing on the beach for the pompano, and your hog hunting up in the creek.
Oh yeah. No place I'd rather be. It's a wonderful spot.
That's so cool. Great pictures. We're going to take a break and we'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. See, we're Brian Bowen down in Port St. Joe with Legacy Lifts, and this is a cool story. First of all, the Legacy Lifts, you've seen a commercial and all, great commercial. Well, we got into them. I have one. That's how we met, and then we started talking. We sort of knew each other better than we thought, and I saw my neighbor had one day, and I said, "Why in the world do you have that thing for?" And then the next month I went down there, and you know, we're at the Cape, and he kept taking stuff up there. And then on July 4th, we would have everybody come down. We talk about it. You know, we just have a great group of people come down, 15. So we're gathering out there for the week, and I never will forget. We're unloading the car. I made 14 trips up and down the stairs, you know, taking groceries and stuff, just like that. Ad, literally, about falling and trying to. And I said, I gotta call them up. So call you up, and you install one. But how'd you get into the Legacy Lifts?
Oddly enough, I was playing a show in, Port St. Joe, and Alex Henderson, the owner of Monumental Fabrication, caught me loading my gear out, and he said, "Man, I got this new product that I'm thinking about selling. I wondered if you'd be interested in coming and talking to me about it." And I fell right into that trap. But it's a lot of fun. You know, I get to travel all over the Panhandle of Florida and meet a lot of interesting people, and you know, that's how you and I connected. And
I know.
It's just amazing what a small world this is.
And you got from Pensacola to Taylor County, you said?
Yep, that's a big stretch.
That's a beautiful stretch. We have some pictures. I told him to send me some pics, so here we go right here. Tell us about, okay, this is a Cadillac model, isn't it?
Yes, that's the Platform Elite or passenger lift there. Fully enclosed, and there's lots of different options on where to position the door, and you know, different color treatments if you like. You know, all of these lifts are made. They're constructed of marine grade aluminum, so you know, painting or powder coating is not really essential unless you want to color coordinate with your home there.
Okay, all right.
And that's the interior of the lift. That's the louver door there. It's perforated, so it's not going to let a lot of rain and weather in, but you still got free airflow in there.
Yep, that's cool. But I love that color.
Yeah, it's pretty snazzy there. That was, I believe that one was installed in Galveston. Legacy Lifts is based in Maybank, Texas.
Out of Texas, okay.
Yeah, they got a great crew out there and great support, and and they're really great with training. I've been back and forth out there several times.
Oh man,
good group of people.
Okay.
That's the cargo lift, and that's pretty much the typical installation that we do on most homes. You drive under, you can load your gear in.
This is the one I have, and you notice the neighbor back door, but he's got one in the back door and all. But these things are amazing. I just had no idea I would love ours as much as we do. Gail and I both love it, but it's so simple and it works so cool.
Yeah, 1,000-pound lifting capacity. It's got a built-in emergency brake on it, so in the highly unlikely event that a cable loses tension, that thing is going to lock immediately. There's no danger of it free falling. Yeah. And we can go up about 27, 28 feet.
Okay.
So, they've got a lot of folks that, coastal regions, obviously, you're elevated, river homes, lakes, that kind of thing.
All along the coastline here, we have these. Okay.
That's just a little close up there of a lift, and that looks like some nice cable rail that perhaps Monumental Fabrication installed.
It does, don't it? Y'all do that kind of work too, right?
We do cable rail and spiral staircases and all sorts of architectural features. We've got a fairly new product called Coastal Dune Fence, which everybody's seen the old picket dune fence that you put up. Well, this is all constructed from aluminum, so it's going to be there forever. And a lot of people are using it around pools and that kind of thing.
That's a great idea. Because all that wood just sort of gets blown down.
It does. It does. That aluminum is very durable.
Yeah. What size motor does that have?
It's a 2-horsepower motor. It's built by an Italian firm that I'm not going to try to say their name. It's TBT. The motor and the gearbox are built by this Italian company. And a lot of people are worried about these days with the supply chain issues. And we had a little bit of a hiccup, but Legacy's gotten out in front of that now, so we're turning and burning. We don't have any problems with getting our parts.
Yeah, I get tickled as an outdoorsman. You always look at these things and somehow you twist around to how it would affect the outdoors. And I always think about somebody putting a big battery pack on the back of a trailer, getting one of these lifts, driving out to the field somewhere and raising it up there.
I've had more than one person ask me about that.
See, there you go.
I certainly have.
There you go. You camouflage it, and it's a mobile, and you can let it back down and then drive back home.
Got a regular penthouse on wheels.
We need to work on that.
Rye patch.
Call those fellows up in Texas. I know they hunt in Texas.
Oh, they do.
Call them up and tell them what they got. It would be hilarious seeing that, but it's I'm a testimony to how well this works. And like I say, we don't put anybody on our show unless we just really believe in the product. And when Brian and I were talking and got to know each other, and I said, we sure want one, and we appreciate it.
Well, it's my pleasure, and it's been a great experience for me too, just meeting you and Miss Gail.
We get tickled. I'll go ahead. I'll bring up the next segment. I got a minute before I go to break. We got to talking, and come to find out, we had a lot in common. So tell us about it.
Well, the first thing that occurred to me was your last name, Chester. And I think one day, not long after we met, I asked you, I said, where are you from? And you said you had some ties to Quincy. And I said, well, I had an uncle that wasn't really an uncle. He was a distant cousin named Homer Chester. Mm-hmm. We called him Uncle Homer, and you said, well, I had an uncle named Homer who wasn't really an uncle too, and there we go.
There you go. So we started putting the dots together, and Gail is a whiz on genealogy. She is amazing, and she really loves doing it. And she got started looking things up, and that family tree,
it's just crazy. I mean, we figured out, me and Miss Gail figured out not too long ago that I actually, as a small kid, lived in her grandparents' former home that was next to the First Baptist Church in Quincy, Florida.
Yep.
So just
She couldn't. When she looked it up, she started talking about, oh my goodness, I bet he lived. And we still have some friends that live in that area, and they remember all of that and everything.
Oh yeah,
that's really cool. Okay, we're going to take our final break and be back with Brian. Okay, welcome back. So here with Brian Bowen for Port St. Joe. Speaking of Port St. Joe, how about Blue Water Outriggers when every day they sponsor our fishing game time for today? Let's take a look at them. We're looking at 10:09 to 12:09, and this evening 10:32 to 12:32. That's our times. We've got a couple more pictures on one of these. I mentioned a motor, so this is the motor right here, real quick.
That's correct, and if you'll notice that doesn't look like the typical cutaway for a motor. They pump the housings of those motors full of a hard plastic resin.
Okay.
And that does two things. One, it prevents the windings in the motor from becoming corroded, because of our salt air and our climate and whatnot. And two, it makes that operation of that motor very, very quiet.
Yes.
Just the slightest hum when that thing's running. So that's kind of a neat little development about legacy.
And our little remote control, I recognize this.
Yeah, I'm sure a lot of your viewers do. I bet they've got some boat lifts with one of those hanging on a keychain. Pretty simple operation, and that's what we run our legacy cargo lifts on. Obviously, the passenger lifts have buttons, call buttons, and that kind of thing. So pretty straightforward little thing.
And I got Gail last night to find you some pictures. You didn't send it to me. Gail found these. Check this out. The Troubadour. You've got a picture here and a picture here, and I've learned by talking to the other friends and all how musically talented you are.
Well, that's mighty kind of
No, I'm serious. This guy can play, and last night or night before last, you played the Scarlet Republic?
Scarlet Republic, yeah. We got together out there, and myself and Clayton Mathis and a young man named Hunter Wall, who just happens to be my next door neighbor, who's an up-and-coming songwriter. We got together and just did a songwriter's night out there, just sat around for a couple hours and traded songs, and it's always a lot of fun, We all of us have somewhat of a local following, so So it was great to just get everybody in one room.
I know I've seen those situations and all. They're just a group of people along the coastline, down in East Point, different places, and Apalachicola.
Oh yeah.
That just play some good music.
Yeah, it's amazing how these Port St. Joe, Apalachicola, Carabel, St. George Island. It's amazing how the locals really embrace the songwriters, especially those of us who try to write about where we live. That doesn't hurt matters at all for people to come out and hang out with us.
There's just a great following there, and I know it takes a lot of talent. I know you've done this for quite some time. Who was your musical influence? I mean, I know you listened growing up.
Yeah, once I grew up and got out of the old bubblegum pop, I fell in love with this cat named John Prine. He was just one of the most incredible songwriters of my time. We lost him a couple of years ago, but the old standard country and Merle Haggard and George and Johnny Cash and all those guys were a heavy influence on me.
Well, on his truck he's got outside here on the front, the tag on the front says John Prine.
It's funny. People see that tag and it's either John Prine or who is that?
Who is that? Yeah. One of the things that fascinated me about what you were able to do. I think when we first started advertising, I think that first week or two, you sold a lift off our.
I certainly did. My first phone call that I got from running my ads with you was from Mr. John McCarter, and I'm sure you're familiar with Mr. McCarter. He's a loyal watcher of the Panhandle Outdoors, and he called me up immediately and said, "Well, saw your ad. Let's get one going," and so that's been a really good experience with him. He's out on Ball Point, out on Alligator Point.
Okay,
great
Ball
guy.
Point. We've talked to him quite a bit. He's got a great story himself, and I know he's happy with it.
That makes me happy to hear.
and also on these lifts, and you'll maintain them and all.
Oh, that's right. When you get me on the phone and we start the process from sales to service to whatever you need. We have occasion where people will leave the gate open and they'll hit the down button. I don't know anybody in particular that's had that happen.
The gate stays open, he went down, so that hits it.
That's right. So when we start a relationship, you get me after the sale, service after the sale. We take care of it. Yeah, take care of it all.
Real good. We were able to call them. They were right out there and all. Right there. Monumental Fabrication.
That's correct. And, that's near the airport there in Port St. Joe.
Yeah, cool place. Can you get over how much St. Joe area is growing?
Oh my gosh, it's inspiring really. After Hurricane Michael, St. Joe, Port St. Joe, and Mexico Beach, Beacon Hill, and all those areas were just wiped out for lack of a better term. And so, I was really impressed, about how the community rallied around each other and helped one another. And for weeks after, when they were piling up the debris, I just couldn't help but think, man, it'll never be the same. Uh-huh. But boy, howdy, are we coming back? There's a lot of new construction, a lot of people, renovating their homes from the storm damage and whatnot. It's just inspiring to see. It really
I know it is. It really is. It looks so. It's going to be one of the coolest places around.
I wouldn't want to live anywhere else.
I know you wouldn't. And the fishing is just outstanding.
Yes, it is. This weekend, West Pompano better look out.
We may get hooked up. Well, maybe not this weekend because Easter I can't go, but maybe next weekend I'm gonna be calling. Y'all found
Let's load up.
We'll load up and we'll take our trucks out there. We might do a good video.
I'll take you to Secret Beach.
I like that. When we're about to go off the air, I guarantee we're going to keep talking about fishing and music probably, because all kinds of stories. But thank you so much for coming on.
It's been a real pleasure, Winston. Thank you for having me.
Okay, and where are you going to be playing anytime soon?
No time soon. They drag me off the porch about every 6 months or so now.
Okay, all right.
But thank you for asking.
Appreciate y'all watching Panhandle Outdoors. You do something good today for a fellow man. You have a great day, and God bless.
Thanks for watching America's only daily outdoor TV show, Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester, featuring hunting, fishing, and other activities and information to help you enjoy the great outdoors. Join us next time for Panhandle Outdoors.